Hello everyone, I am the Double Agent, and it's Halloween! You know what that means. It's the one day of the year where you get to dress up in a scary costume, approach the houses of random strangers and demand free candy, and they won't call the authorities. And, to celebrate this occasion, I've selected my top 10 least favorite Halloween candies, and I'm going to share them with you for your amusement. So, without further ado, let's begin. Number 10. Peeps. And you might as well throw in circus peanuts also, because I've heard they're pretty similar. If there's such a thing as too sweet, this is it. Okay, let me break this down for you. This is an extra sugary marshmallow coated with sugar and food coloring. This is sugary sugar covered with sugar. It's disgusting. It's like drinking raw corn syrup. It's a massive sensory overload. Not to mention, Peeps are incredibly low quality. There's nothing about them that can't be matched or beaten by any regular old marshmallow. Has anyone ever really had a craving that only a Peep could satisfy? I know technically this shouldn't count as Halloween candy because I've never actually gotten a Peep shoved into my pillowcase during an outing as far as I remember. But there are pumpkin-shaped sugar nuggets being sold at retail in the fall, so hey, I guess they count. Please, Peeps, stick to one holiday, okay? Oh, good lord. Number 9. Sour Skittles. Just to clarify, regular Skittles are fine. Sour Skittles are a disaster. Why is that? Well, to start off, they're barely even sour. Any impact these things have fade away after Skittle 5. But somewhere around Skittle 10, you'll begin to notice a different problem. Not only is the citric acid on the outside of each Skittle corrosive chemically, it's also abrasive to the touch, meaning that they'll eventually start breaking down the cell structures on your tongue, throat, and the roof of your mouth if you suck on them for too long. This, as you can imagine, leads to an incredibly frustrating experience, each Skittle being more irritating than the last. Candy should never be painful. Basic rule of thumb. Number 8. Dots. This is what happens when you take gumdrops and suck everything good out of them. Not only are these things bland, but they are way too chewy for their own good. They're nearly impossible to get out of your teeth after you're done eating them. Dots are to candy what car tires are to gum. Fun fact, if you eat enough dots, they'll surround your teeth, absorb your teeth, and then become your new teeth. Freaky, right? Number 7. Mounds. Coconuts and dark chocolate. Need I say more? Whose idea was it to buy a box of chocolates, take the worst one out of the box, and then mass produce it? These things are disgusting. You might think that the bitterness of the dark chocolate and the milkiness of the coconut would mix together pretty well, but all they really do is cover each other up. It feels like something is missing, you know? Oh wait, I know. An almond. It's no secret that Mounds are just downgraded Almond Joys, which aren't even that good to begin with. Why would you eat a Mounds if you could just eat an Almond Joy? They're sweeter, they're bigger, they're more flavorful, they're healthier, believe it or not. They're an upgrade in literally every way. There is no reason to eat a Mounds bar. No reason. Well, I guess if you're allergic to almonds, sure, but otherwise, no reason. Number 6. Baby Ruth bars. Where to begin? You know that saying, less is more? Well, sometimes more is also less. The first and most glaring problem with Baby Ruth bars is that there are way too many nuts. When adding nuts to a chocolate bar, there's a thin line between complimentary and overpowering, and let me tell ya, Baby Ruth crossed that line miles ago. They don't just overpower the bar, they overrun it. And the other ingredients definitely aren't helping matters either. The caramel's way too hard, it's basically toffee, and the layer of chocolate on the outside is so thin it might as well not even be there. The nougat might be okay, but I can barely taste it with all these nuts in the way. Baby Ruth bars may have started production before Snickers bars, but they sure feel like cheap knockoffs to me. Ask anyone, I guarantee you, the only people who still eat Baby Ruth bars are middle-aged mothers and 5-year-old kids who'll eat pretty much anything if you tell them there's chocolate in it. Number 5. Spree. I really hate Spree. You know Runts? Those crappy little stale fruit candies you get from those gumball machines at restaurants for $2 a pop? Imagine those, but with significantly less flavor, and condensed into the most generic shape imaginable, just to make sure that all charm is lost. The coating has next to no flavor to it, and it's incredibly hard to penetrate. It's like eating a button. And once you finally manage to break through the outside layer, you'll discover that the inside isn't much better. It tastes like drywall. Drywall covered in plastic, another award-winning idea from Wonka's factories. What the fuck are these envelopes doing? Number 4. Candy corn. Of all the candy to make a tradition out of, why'd it have to be this? Seriously, can we just replace these with, like, Snickers or something? These things are sickening. They look like broken Lego blocks and they taste like wet cardboard. Eating one is a waste of 5 calories and packaging one is a waste of plastic. But of course, I don't have to tell you this. You already know. Everyone hates candy corn. I mean, sure, that's a bit of a broad and arbitrary claim to make, but come on, everyone hates candy corn. It's a fact of life. The sun always rises in the east and sets in the west. The moon comes out at night. There are 12 months in a year. Everyone hates candy corn. By far the best thing about them, though, is that if you set them out at a Halloween party, you never have to buy a new pack. You can just reuse the same pieces every year because no one ever eats them. Number 3. Double Bubble. The cheapest tasting gum currently on the market. What is this, 1850? Is this gum or is this a wet crumpled up post-it note? It's the only gum that tastes stale right off the conveyor belt. It tastes sickening, the kind of flavor I associate with car sickness. But hey, no worries, it wears out in 10 seconds anyways. Nothing about this gum feels right to me. The texture, the flavor, the shape, the size, heck, you can barely even blow bubbles with it. If you want some real gum, visit your local checkout aisle. Heck, the gum you scrape off a trash can at a public park is still better than Double Bubble, at least it sort of tastes like gum. Double Bubble, you've overstayed your welcome. Please, go back to the early 1900s where you belong. You won't be missed. Number 2. Twizzlers. Truly the bottom of the barrel. Twizzlers is a brand of licorice that both looks, feels, and tastes like scented red wax. It's an embarrassment to the subsection. Actually, is this supposed to be licorice? I seriously can't tell. I've had actual licorice before, and it was way better than this. This is not licorice. This is an abomination. It's a strawberry candy that fails to be either sweet, tangy, or fruity in any significant way. Even if it does meet its intentions, the intended flavor is not a good one. It's barely even there. There is nothing redeemable about these things as a candy. But, on the bright side, they do make pretty good straws. Well, sometimes they do. Crap, where did that go? And now, in the effort of building up suspense, before we get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Almond Joy. Better than Mounds. Still not great though. Payday. Peanuts, caramel, nougat, and no chocolate. Ugh, no thanks. Now and Laters. These are what happens when you let Starbursts go stale. Whoppers. Or as I call them, chocolate-covered croutons. Milk Duds. Or as I call them, tooth clingers. Airheads. Honestly, I don't know why I hate these things so much. I just do. And now, number 1. Apples, or raisins, or toothbrushes, or floss, or anything that isn't candy. In a perfect world, this would not even qualify. Every Halloween, if you go out for more than 30 minutes, you're bound to run into one particularly awful neighbor who decided to hand out something healthy. Guys, you do know what the point of Halloween is, right? It's to give out candy to honor the souls of the dead. This is not candy. Halloween is the one day of the year where kids can roam free, unleash their inner sugar beasts, ravenously devour loads of sugar and corn syrup to their heart's content. This is the day they have been dreaming of for months. If you give them something that is not candy, you are crushing their dreams. Especially if you hand out toothbrushes. That is the antithesis of candy. You are giving them negative candy, you bastard. And I don't care if you're a dentist. Can't take a break for one night? Come on. It doesn't matter what your intentions are, if you're trying to teach kids about good dental hygiene or if you're just really cheap. If you give out anything non-candy related on Halloween, you are a menace to society. Please, do the world a favor, escort yourself to the nearest volcano and take a leap of faith. I promise I'll catch you. And that's my list. If you made it to the end of this video, that means you just watched some random white teen dressed up like an agent and wearing a fedora babble on about something that doesn't matter for 9 minutes. Which means you'll probably like my channel. Be sure to stick around, I have a few more projects planned. But until then, stay safe, kids. I'm the Double Agent, and this is what happens when you wear a fedora for an extended period of time. Seriously, where the fuck did that Twizzler go?